Welcome to our channel today, as we bring you the top 10 books Jeff Bezos recommends. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you know when we do something new. Asking people whose books they enjoy is one of my favorite things to do. I like to ask them to recommend a few books that they enjoy. It's a perfect way to get great interviews. When it comes to entrepreneurship, the same is so. If you're a fan of Jeff Bezos, reading a few of his favorite books could help you discover new insights, concepts, and ways to better your business. Whether you like him or not, it's difficult not to admire his achievements at Amazon in terms of building a flourishing business. Here are the 10 books Jeff Bezos recommends, and I can wholeheartedly suggest too, along with some of our thoughts. Number 10 is The Black Swan, 2nd edition. The Impact of the Highly Improbable, with a new section on Robustness and Fragility by Nassim Nicholas Taleb. Taleb has spent years researching how we deceive ourselves into believing we know better than we do. Although major events continue to surprise us and shape our planet, we limit our thinking to the trivial and insignificant. Taleb discusses what we know and what we don't know in this revolutionary text, which includes a new philosophical and scientific article in the 2nd edition. Number 9 is DataDriven Marketing, the 15 Metrics Everyone in Marketing Should Know by Mark Jeffrey. No company can afford to spend money on ads without learning what works and what doesn't in this current age of tight marketing budgets. Data-driven marketing boosts the productivity and efficacy of marketing budgets across the board, from branding and visibility to trail and loyalty, new product launch, and internet marketing. This book is a straightforward and compelling guide to using a more rigorous, data-driven strategic approach to deliver meaningful success benefits from the marketing, based on recent findings from the Kellogg School of Management. Number 8 is The Goal, a process on ongoing improvement by Eliyahu M. Goldratt. This is the 30th anniversary edition. The Goal, a thrilling novel written in a fast-paced thriller format, is changing management thought around the world. It's a book you can suggest to your colleagues, even your superiors, but not your rivals. Alex Rogo is a harried plant manager who is working more than ever to improve results. His factory is on the verge of collapse. His marriage is in trouble. He has 90 days to save his factory. Otherwise, it will be shut down by corporate headquarters, resulting in the loss of hundreds of jobs. It takes a chance meeting with the professor from Alex's student days to help him understand what needs to be learned and break free from traditional thought. Alex's struggle to save his plant is more than compelling reading. It provides a serious message for all industrial managers and discusses the concepts that underpin Eli Goldratt's theory of constraints, TOC. Number 7 is The Mythical Man Month, Essays on Software Engineering by Frederick P. Brooks, Jr. The Mythical Man Month is one of the most popular and timeless books on tech project management. Fred Brooks provides insight for those handling ambitious tasks with a mix of software engineering facts and thought-provoking views. These essays are based on his work as a project manager for IBM's System 360 programming family, as well as OS 360, the company's vast computing system. Brooks has revisited his original ideas and introduced new observations and advice, both for readers who are still acquainted with his writing and for readers who are exploring it for the very first time. It's been 20 years since it was first published. The added chapters provide a concise summary of all the claims made in the original book, including Brooks's central argument in The Mythical Man Month, that large programming projects face different management challenges than small ones due to labor division, that conceptual integrity of the product is thus critical, and that achieving conceptual integrity is difficult but not impossible. Number 6 is Memos from the Chairman by Alan C. Greenberg. Ace Greenberg was just as good at me at bridge, magic tricks, dog walking, and arbitrating all of life's critical issues. That's a quote from Warren Buffett. Alan C. Greenberg, a celebrated philanthropist and former chairman of Bear Stearns, was recognized in the financial community for his biting, eccentric, but indispensable and wise memos. Memos from the Chairman is a special and uniquely straightforward management theory that has been read by anyone from Warren Buffett to Jeff Bezos to Tom Peters. I love this book, the co-author of In Search of Excellence said. Make choices that are founded on logic. Stay away from the herd mindset. With unwavering vigilance, keep track of your expenditures. Maintain the highest degree of morality in your industry. Remove the chain of command from your highly driven and knowledgeable employees. Still answer the phone politely and promptly. Never mistake your odor for perfume. And remember to be humble, humble, and humble. Number 5 is lean thinking. Banish waste and create wealth in your corporation. Revised and updated by James P. Womack. This best-selling industry classic by 2 globally acclaimed management consultants has been expanded, revised, and made more applicable than ever before. It outlines a business structure for the 21st century that supersedes Ford's mass manufacturing system, Sloan's financial regulation system, and Welch and GE's strategic system. It's based on the Toyota Lean model, which blends organizational excellence with value-based techniques to generate consistent growth in a variety of economic conditions. In contrast to the doomed companies trumpeted by business gurus in the 1990s, the companies profiled in lean thinking, from tiny land tech to mid-sized wire mold to niche producer Porsche to gigantic Pratt & Whitney. They've continued to raise steadily, largely unnoticed, through the market turbulence and crushed dreams of the early 21st century. Meanwhile, Toyota, the world leader in lean thinking, has set its eyes on dominating the global automobile market this decade. Number 4 is The Innovator's Dilemma: When New Technologies Cause Great Firms to Fail by Clayton M. Christensen. Clayton M. Christensen's blockbuster classic on technological disruption is a must-read for everyone interested in the topic. From Steve Jobs to Malcolm Gladwell, his thesis has been quoted by some of the world's most well-known thinkers. Clayton Christensen, the author of the classic bestseller and one of the most popular business books of all time, demonstrates how even the most excellent business will do everything well and yet lose market share. Why do most businesses lose out on fresh waves of creativity, according to Christensen? He claims that once management knows how and when to drop conventional market practices, a profitable enterprise with existing goods would be brushed aside in every sector. The Innovator's Dilemma provides a series of guidelines for capitalizing on the phenomenon of technological disruption, based on the experiences and shortcomings of leading firms. Sharp, cogent, and provocative, it has long been regarded as one of the most important market concepts of all time. No boss, chief, or inventor should be without The Innovator's Dilemma. Number 3 is Creation: Life and How to Make It by Steve Grand. Mankind also can synthesize true artificial life, allowing Dr. Frankenstein's fantasy to be realized in both cyberspace and the physical world. Steve Grand, a leading proponent of artificial life, offers the first definitive and detailed tour of this burgeoning modern creation in this book. He takes stock of what has been accomplished so far and considers the possibilities for creating autonomous, aware, and even conscious living objects. He answers a broad variety of existential issues, including what is life? What do these new life forms' minds, brains, and bodies look like? What are the conceptual and computational structures that are required? The author's creative vision, built on his experience creating some of the most sophisticated artificial life currently available, is at the core of this beautifully open and thought-provoking novel. Number 2 is Good to Great: Why Some Companies Make the Leap and Others Don't by Jim Collins. The definitive management report of the 1990s, built to last, demonstrated how great businesses triumph over time and how long-term sustainable success can be engineered into an enterprise's DNA from the start. But what about the business that doesn't have fantastic DNA from the start? How can good firms, poor companies, and even bad companies sustain long-term success? Jim Collins has been pondering this topic for years. Is it possible for a company to defy gravity and turn long-term mediocrity, or worse, into long-term superiority? If that's the case, what are the universal characteristics that allow an organization to progress from good to great? Number 1 is Built to Last: Successful Habits of Visionary Companies by Jim Collins. James C. Collins and Jerry I. Porras used a 6-year thesis project at Stanford University Graduate School of Business to study 18 genuinely outstanding and long-lasting firms in direct contrast to one of their biggest rivals. They looked at the firms as startups, mid-sized businesses, and big enterprises from the beginning to the present. Who made genuinely outstanding firms separate from comparison companies? And what were the standard strategies these enduringly excellent companies practiced throughout their history? The writers wondered throughout this book. Built to Last offers a master plan for creating companies that can survive well into the 21st century and beyond, with hundreds of concrete instances and structured into a cohesive system of functional frameworks that can be implemented by managers and entrepreneurs at all levels. Thank you for watching our video. Make sure you hit the like button and don't be afraid to comment down below about these books, or maybe you have a suggestion on what a great business book is.